At a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing on September 16th, lawmakers convened to address the growing concerns over the harmful effects of AI chatbots on minors. In a rare show of bipartisan agreement, senators called for stronger parental controls and greater accountability from tech companies. Experts and parents testified about the negative impacts these technologies are having on children and answered questions from the committee. Here are the top moments from the hearing.
Somebody said that 3/4 of children are involved. Was it you, Dr. Prinstein? Mr. Torney? What was that statistic again?
Yes, Common Sense Media has done nationally representative polling that has showed that 3 in 4 children have used AI companions.
And the second figure he gave was 37%.
Yes, 37% of parents know that their kids are using AI.
So let me ask the obvious question. As a caring parent, what should you look for as a sign that that's happening? Dr. Prinstein?
So I think it's so important to remember that it is a natural process that when people get positive feedback, that's going to activate a brain response, a dopamine response. It's going to feel really rewarding. Adolescents have a hypersensitive response to this because the area of the brain that stops them or makes them question or think about what to do is not yet fully activated. What's happening here is that we're seeing a lot of kids being lured into a trap that is specifically designed to go against their better judgment, to prey on the vulnerabilities in just how we grow up and how our brain develops. That's highly concerning because there's no regulation anywhere to remind kids you're not talking to something that can feel, that could have tears, as we just saw from those placards that were held up. This is not even a human. Kids should be reminded of that periodically throughout the interaction.
As you sit here in front of us today, if you could say, here's the one thing I wish that these AI companies would do, or here's the one thing if Congress did, I believe it would make a difference based on your experience. If you will just take just a minute, we'll go down the way. If you will tell me what that is, I would greatly appreciate it.
Well, thank you, first of all, for listening to us today. I really do feel like with this technology that our children have become experimental instead of like testing and beta testing and making sure that it's safe before it's even put out to market. And that would be my first thought, is these things don't have regulations. They're just released without any kind of safeguard at first. So we just at first need some kind of safeguard knowingly, so that parents know that if something is put out, that there's already been safeguards put into place and regulated that can be trusted. Because now, after this experience, you never think this is going to happen to you. You never think it's going to be your family, just like other tragedies out in this world. And if we would have known, then we could have been guarded. Just like if you take your child and walk across the road. You can hold their hand and you can tell them if it's safe or not. We were blindsided by these apps and blindsided by everything that has happened. And if we just would have known that the 12 plus rating wasn't actually a 12 plus rating, then we would have been more cautious to say stop.
Mr. Chairman, I know that I'm out of time. Do you mind if they briefly each continue answering the question? Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. I think Congress can, like Mandy said, start with regulation to prevent companies from testing products on our children and releasing products before they're properly tested and suitable for children. They could also force companies to release the research because they know what these companies are doing. We don't. They're not giving the public the knowledge that we need to protect our children. And as far as these companies, right now as it stands, I don't think that chatbot technology in its current form is safe for children. So if they could stop children from going on their platforms, don't make it 12 plus in your app store, have proper age verification so that children under the age of 18 do not have access to chatbots. I think that would save a lot of lives and save families from devastation.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Mr. Rain.
I think parental controls are the very, very minimum here, but that doesn't address what they have to be on there. There weren't, at least with ChatGPT 4.0, but that doesn't address the systemic problem of, I don't want a 20-year-old to be talked to the way my son was by a chatbot either. You know, if these things are going to be as powerful and as addictive, they need some sense of morality built into them. You know, why is it not, you know, the norm, self-harm and suicide are bad in there? ChatGPT seemed to take the opposite position of that, or at best case, sometimes a neutral position, but there was no morality built in whatsoever. The problem is systemic, and I don't believe that they can't fix it. If you go to ChatGPT right now and try to talk about some politically sensitive topics, it will shut down and you cannot work around it. Try it. They can do it. They didn't do that for self-harm or suicide, but they can absolutely not allow the kind of conversation that killed my son.
Thank
So
you.
it's a systemic, broader thing, above and beyond just the controls.
Completely agree with you. Thank you.
Robust age assurance and no AI companions for minors.
Thank you.
For youth in particular, frequent reminders that AI is not human. They should not be able to call themselves a therapist or a mental health professional. Do not use and sell kids' data. And determine who is liable when AI causes harm.
Why is the APA concerned about young users turning to AI, and should these chatbots be subject to licensing, certification, or disclaimers if they're going to start being doctors?
Yes, the APA has filed a complaint with the FTC about the use of terms that suggest medical professional qualifications, which they do not have. Most don't realize that the terms therapist or psychotherapy are not regulated terms in most states in our country. So they are sometimes using those terms in a way that lay folks will assume means that they have some qualifications. Importantly, Character AI has also said that they are had its bot say that it is a psychologist, a licensed psychologist. And that is a regulated term, and that should be illegal.
Mm-hmm. Actually, last week, we heard in Commerce Committee from the President's top tech policy advisor, and he said it's more important to teach America's youth the limitations of where AI works and where it doesn't work so that they're using it in the way that it was intended for. You advocate for Congress to fund comprehensive AI literacy programs in schools. Why is that important?
Well, right now we have folks who are interacting with these platforms not knowing what's happening to their data, not knowing how it is that they're being lured, emotionally manipulated into engaging with them. Look, I know that there's a lot of people that talk about the content on social media and AI as being something that might be protected. I want to be clear. It's the functions on social media, the likes, the notifications, the beauty filters on AI. It's the programming that keeps them engaged and tricks them into believing they're humans. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. That should be something that we can stop. It's not the content.
In your research, I know you've done a lot of research into different chatbots and different companies. Is there any company that is worse than others? I mean, is there anything that your research shows about who really is leading in terms of, competing for that title, worst company in the world?
Yeah, Meta and Character AI definitely stand out as worse, and this policy and policies like it explain exactly what we found in our testing.
So let me just ask you this. What is it that the American people should know about what Meta and companies like Meta, Character AI, what they are doing, the lengths they are willing to go in order to drive that engagement and to make a profit? What really stands out from your research, your data?
I think there's three things I would say. First, for Meta, this is millions of teens alone. There's no separate app. You can't turn it off, and the guardrails that Meta says that exist don't work in our testing.
I want you to speak for just a moment, Mr. Torney, about the unwillingness of social media to address any of this.
Thank you, Senator. I think it's just very clear that we have shared our risk assessments and our findings with these companies, and in Meta's particular case, their actions speak for themselves. We've heard from their crisis teams. This has been a PR response. There hasn't been any meaningful engagement around trying to address the issues that we've uncovered in our testing.
Well, my time is up, but to Meta and Meta's leadership, my office number again, 202-224-3344. I have staff members standing by to take your call, and if you're too chicken to do it, maybe we'll subpoena you and pull your sorry you know what's in here to get some answers. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
For more congressional news, stay tuned to Congress Clips, and thanks for watching.